go to Capri?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it. Andiamo, Jim.
Right, but now that one is Capri, and now we go straight on. All right.
On the chairlift in Capri, going up to Mount Salerno. Check this out, guys. Look at that view. Holy crap. That's amazing. Let me turn it around so you can see the on the way up. There it is. We're heading up to the top of that. We finally made it to Pompeii. It was raining yesterday, so we stayed in Positano and enjoyed some dinner. But now we're going to see what Pompeii has to offer, and hopefully I can bring you some photos along the way. See ya. House of Octavius in Pompeii. Nice. All right, guys, welcome back to the studio. I wanted to get a quick video out last week on the Amalfi, but I didn't have time to film any in-studio stuff for that one, so I'm kind of gonna sum things up about Amalfi and also talk about our experience in Capri and in Pompeii, because that's what this video is gonna be about after all. So let's talk about Amalfi. Amalfi was awesome. We absolutely loved our stay there. We stayed at a hotel that felt like climbing Mount Vesuvius every time we went to our room, however. So just be careful when you're booking your hotels in Amalfi. Make sure if you have some issues going upstairs that you double and triple check where your actual hotel is. If you have looked at my video last week, you'll see Amalfi is basically a stacked city, and all of the villages on the Amalfi Coast are stacked like that. Lots of steps, lots of hills, lots to get up to see anything. So just be careful if you're going to Amalfi and you're going to those areas, Positano, Minori, Maiori, you're gonna have to walk a lot of steps and a lot of hills. And your hotel might be up one of those. And carrying your luggage is not fun. Let's just put it that way. All right, so thoughts on, the X-T5 that I shot with the entire time until I got my film camera a little later on in the trip, which we'll talk about later. The reason why I didn't bring the X100VI is because I had some autofocus issues. I know the firmware came out to try to address that, but I wasn't just 100% confident that it was going to perform. I didn't want that to be the only camera that I had, and it didn't, and it let me down, and we didn't get any of the footage that we did get. So I went ahead and picked up the X-T5. I had one at launch. It was a great camera. I just got gas. I have a constant case of gear acquisition syndrome, and I continuously buy gear and more gear, and I had to sell gear to buy more gear because let's face it, I'm not going to own 1,000 cameras. I already have 4 right now as it is. So I picked up the X-T5. I was able to find the 27mm f2.8, which is almost impossible to find. It came available for just a small amount of time on Best Buy, and I was able to snag one before they were sold out again. So I brought the 27mm and the 35 f2. So I had 2 different focal lengths, 50mm with the 35 f2, 50mm equivalent on full frame, and then 27's roughly 35mm. Just gives me a little more field of view when I'm in these tight streets, like in Amalfi and all of the places along the Amalfi coast. I switched to the 35 when I was in, like the Roman Forum and in the Colosseum, and sometimes in Florence on some of the street shots I did, but I stuck to the 27 quite often, to be honest with you. The Fuji X-T5, I haven't done a review of this camera or the X-H2 for that matter, but the X-T5's been around for a couple years now. It is a fantastic camera, 40 megapixel APS-C, stabilized with IBIS, and also has really good autofocus in low light and really good low light performance depending on certain lenses you're using. Now I didn't bring the 18mm 1.4, the 56 1.2, which are really your low light powerhouses, because let's face it, I was going to be out in the daylight in bright sun, very little shade, and I didn't really need that low light performance. And I didn't do a lot of night photography. My evenings were spent with my wife, enjoying good food, good sights, having some drinks, and just leaving the camera gear back at the hotel. So X-T5 performed fantastic, had 0 issues with it. DJI Pocket 3 was phenomenal for getting all the footage and the talking head stuff. And I did use the DJI Action 4 just a little bit when we get to Rome, and you'll see some of that footage there. So all in all, this kit's turning out to be a great kit to bring for travel. I'd highly recommend it, as you can see in the photos. And as far as getting the footage, the DJI Pocket 3 and Action 4, it's a great combo for providing that footage while you're on the go and you're not filming with a full-fledged camera. The stabilization's just next level. You're not going to get that out of a camera like the XH2 when you're out and about. You're just not. You're going to get more stabilization out of the DJI. So that's about the camera. Let's talk a little bit more about the trip. Like I said, we had an oceanfront property, or oceanfront view in Amalfi. It was romantic, it was gorgeous, it was a great area to stay in. We actually stayed in Altrani, not Amalfi, which is a very small village, just a 10-minute walk from Amalfi. All the hustle and bustle in Amalfi during the day. We had quiet evenings and quiet lunches and dinners in the Trani when we felt the need to, and we could get. The rooms were good, we had great views. We really didn't have any issues with that. The biggest issue was breakfast and our coffee coffer, or cappuccino coffer, who literally got us sick the second day we were there. Allegedly. This week we were in Capri and Pompeii. We did a private boat ride. I think there was 12 of us on a boat. It was a pretty cool tour. However, we did get seasick because it was pretty rough out there, and with a smaller boat, we did get seasick, and it kind of had to chill out for a minute. We got to swim in the ocean while we were there. We docked in the middle of the water, and that was phenomenal. The tour guys were awesome. They were good people. Like I said, we just got a little car sick on the ride to Sorrento from Amalfi. The ferries are amazing. Like, we didn't have any issues ever getting sick on the ferries, and they were like the way to travel when you're in Amalfi. Do not use the buses. They will get you sick in a heartbeat going around those turns and curves. And the drivers are just nuts. I mean, there is scooters going in and out, weaving in and out of traffic. almost getting hit, and it's like normal there. So take the ferries. They're a lot better. You're not going to get sick as much on those. Capri was amazing. We wish you would have more time there. Taking the chairlift up to Salerno. Mount Salerno was awesome. Great views. I'd highly recommend doing those things. Anna Capri was a little quieter than Capri. Capri was packed. And you're going to spend a little more money in Capri. Just know that. It's an island. It's like going to Hawaii. Things are more expensive. It's harder to get things in and out of that area. It's not like going to Hawaii, but it's an island. Just put it that way. And then to get to Pompeii, we actually took the train. We took the ferry from Amalfi to Salerno, and then we took the train, which is only like an hour and change, to Pompeii. We were able to spend some time in the city of Pompeii, which was cool. Then we went into Pompeii, and you could spend 2 days there. It's just so expansive. There's so much to see. It's like 10 Colosseums. There's just so much more to see there. So many things you could read. If you really spent time, you would be there for days. But we were only there for like 4 hours. We were able to see as much as we possibly could. Then we had to hop on the train and get back to Salerno, and then get back on the ferry with the last ferry out, or one of the last ferries out, so we can get back to Amalfi for our stay. I highly recommend you do Pompeii while you're in the area. If you're either in Naples or in Amalfi, it's not hard to get to. The train systems in Italy are amazing. You can just download the Train Italia app, and there you go. So that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the photos. I hope you enjoyed the video footage and what I put together for Capri and Pompeii. Until the next one, I'll see you later. Peace. I don't know where the cap's at, but anyway.